Where is convicted scammer Amanda Riley today? The new Docuseries Scamanda examines how the mother of two faked her cancer diagnosis to raise more than $100,000. As Amanda Riley documented her battle with stage 3 cancer, hundreds of people online and in the community stepped forward to offer encouragement and financial help to the courageous mother of two. Eventually, they would learn the shocking truth that Riley's illness was completely made up. Her scheme to fake a dire diagnosis for attention and financial gain became the subject of the popular 2023 investigative podcast Scamanda, and now a 4-part ABC docuseries of the same name, now streaming on Hulu. Featuring exclusive interviews with people connected to the case, the TV project examines how Riley altered medical records and her own physical appearance to illegally raise more than $100,000 from unsuspecting supporters. While Riley eventually admitted her guilt and went to prison for her crime, new reports have offered a possible explanation for the notorious scammer's fraudulent behavior. Here's what to know about Amanda Riley, her case, and where she is today. Amanda Riley faked a cancer diagnosis for financial gain. Starting in 2012, Riley used the internet and social media to solicit donations for her fake diagnosis for the blood cancer Hodgkin's lymphoma and, later, a form of lung cancer. According to the US Attorney's Office, she falsified medical bills and records and forged letters from doctors. Amid the scheme, Corey and Amanda also argued her feigned illness was a medical hardship in an attempt to lower Corey's child support payments to his ex-wife for their daughter, Jessa Gonzalez. Any donations she received were deposited into her personal bank accounts and used to pay living expenses. She started a blog called Lymphoma Can Suck It, on which she shared photos and updates. Moscatiello contacted several hospitals, who pointed to inconsistencies between Riley's blog accounts and typical cancer treatment regimens. She admitted her intent was to deceive people into believing she had cancer and, in doing so, to convince them to donate money to her. Although she faced up to 20 years in prison, she was sentenced to 5 years and ordered to pay restitution equaling the amount of the donations. People reported that Moscatiello, who is a producer for the new TV docuseries, forwarded her findings to a financial crimes detective that September, and the case was referred to the Internal Revenue Service. "This is the worst thing I have ever done and the worst mistake I could have made," she said. She has since been moved to RRM Long Beach, a residential re-entry facility in San Pedro, California. According to prosecutors, Riley was transported to an emergency room 24 times during her first 18 months of incarceration. Her complaints ranged from a rapid heartbeat and chest pains to a cut on her head. "I don't sleep well at night because this haunts me daily. I can't even look at myself in the mirror without feeling ashamed, and I am so sorry." And even petitioned for her early release, citing her inability to receive proper treatment for asthma, low blood pressure, and other ailments, and offered her the chance to further apologize and tell her side of the story. According to The Guardian, 3 doctors and a nurse who treated Riley during her incarceration have suggested she might suffer from factitious disorder, more commonly known as Munchausen syndrome. "It's up to people whether they want to believe that," Webster told Cartoon. "It just became a spiraled lie that became very addictive, and I can kind of see that because of how we perceive social media. I feel like this was very much about validation, attention, and it became very addictive rather than about the finances." A 4th doctor even made an official diagnosis. Munchausen syndrome is a psychological disorder in which a person pretends to be sick or purposefully produces symptoms of illness, usually to gain sympathy or attention. However, a judge denied the request this past June after prosecutors argued that Riley was caught attempting to manipulate test results, such as by holding her breath during oxygen saturation readings. Her anticipated release date from prison is December 4, 2025. In an episode of the Scamanda TV docuseries, Corey's daughter Jessa reveals she hasn't seen her father or Amanda for a long time and was really hurt, but also kind of relieved when the case ended. She says that neither has offered a personal apology, nor even admitted to the falsity of Amanda's illness. Finally, in July 2020, an IRS special investigator charged Riley with wire fraud resulting from digital donations. For some pictures, she even shaved her head to simulate losing her hair from treatment. Believed to have suffered from Munchausen syndrome by proxy, DD subjected her daughter, Gypsy-Rose, to years of fabricated illnesses and unnecessary medical treatments, until 2015, when Gypsy-Rose ultimately conspired in her mother's death. However, cash payments she received and other in-kind offerings such as gift cards weren't included in this amount. According to People, she invited supporters and local community members to donate money to help fund her medical care and received a signed guitar from a meet and greet with country singer LeAnn Rimes. There was only one problem. The San Jose, California, resident was never diagnosed with cancer or any other terminal illness. As she continued to solicit money through 2019, Amanda and her husband, Corey Riley, raised their 2 sons together, Carter and Connor. She pleaded guilty to fraud in court. In June 2015, investigative journalist Nancy Moscatiello received an anonymous tip that Riley was faking her illness. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the government identified a total of 349 individuals and entities who made contributions totaling $105,513 toward Riley's fabricated medical expenses. On October 12, 2021, Riley pleaded guilty to wire fraud in federal court as part of an agreement with prosecutors. At her sentencing hearing, Riley apologized to the judge and victims. Corey, her husband, hasn't faced any charges related to the fundraising scheme. Still imprisoned, Amanda has repeatedly claimed illness. Now 39, Riley began serving her sentence at Federal Medical Center Carswell in Fort Worth, Texas, in September 2022. In August 2024, a San Francisco Chronicle report detailed how Riley's deceit has allegedly continued in prison. Riley's attorneys have argued her most recent symptoms are legitimate in the meantime. Medical experts have surmised Riley's symptoms could be part of a larger pattern of mental illness. A similar and even more infamous case involves Dee and Gypsy-Rose Blanchard. As Amanda remains incarcerated, her husband and sons are living in Austin, Texas, per People. Although Riley hasn't participated in any official interviews while in prison, Scamanda podcast host Charlie Webster has spoken to her multiple times. She did tell me that she can't believe what she's done, and she is sorry.